Welcome to another episode of the Windy City Comic Blog. I'm your host, Mr. DC Ryan, and my co-host,
the amazing Alex.
I'm the Denzel. I'm a guest.
That's right, that's our guest. Melanosaurus has disappeared. Our big topics for the day, 75th anniversary of Batman.
Yes, sir. So from what I've heard, is it just me as I felt like the whole year has been Batman's 75th anniversary? Since January of 2014, it's been Batman's 75 years.
You want to know why this is?
Hmm.
Tell me, name one comic book character bigger than Batman.
Marvel.
Name one comic book character
Superman.
bigger than...
Well,
I don't think Superman could ever...
Well, here's the thing. I remember Superman came out.
Spider-Man.
I remember... Well, Spider-Man, yes. Definitely Spider-Man. But I remember Superman, when they promoted 75th, it was for like a month. They made a big deal about it for a month.
Everyone wants to be Batman.
Yeah, everyone.
You have a cape with knives.
Capes are lame. Batgirl's cape comes off because it's so lame. Because people grab it.
Batgirl's cape?
Yeah,
Well, I
the
mean...
new Batgirl's cape has snaps on the
Well, that's
shoulders.
smart, though. I mean, you're gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm
Batman's
sure.
not smart. His cape is attached.
No,
Also, he
you're
can't
not.
move his neck.
No one touches Batman.
Mm-mm.
No, Batman moves his
People
neck.
touch Batman all the time.
That sounds so dirty.
Does it?
That sounds so
Or is
dirty.
it the real world that we live in?
No, that sounds dirty.
But San Diego Comic-Con, that was probably one of the bigger parts of DC's panel.
Yes, definitely. Frank Miller. It was a panel of awesome guests. It was Frank Miller.
Assuming Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder was there. Greg Poole was not there. I think Jason, one of DC's main, CEOs, or one of the editors, was there. And then I think, was Danny O'Neill?
Did you say Danny DeVito?
No, Danny O'Neill. He wrote a lot of the Batman comics.
He did.
One really memorable ones. Right now, he wrote is called Batman Venom. This when Batman gets hooked on drugs. And the story begins out with it starts out with Batman trying to rescue this little girl who's trapped underneath some rocks, and by the time he gets to her, she's already drowned to death. And because he wasn't strong
Is that what he does?
enough.
Is just save people who are drowning? I thought he was like a crime
He
fighter.
he is a crime fighter, but he was investigating this girl who was kidnapped. She was kidnapped and she was held underneath this cave, and the cave was collapsing. So he went to go try to save her, but he wasn't strong enough. So that's when he meets which is actually kind of effed up. He goes to the girl's father, and he's really nonchalant about it. He's very cold-hearted about it, but he tells Batman about this drug that can help him be stronger. It's
But you mean the dad is very nonchalant about
Yes,
it?
yes, he's very emotional about his kid dying.
Stuff happens.
Yes.
He's emotional or not?
No.
No, he just kind of shrugs it off like nothing.
Batman tried.
Because he's on drugs?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten that far yet. But basically, he offers Batman these drugs that can make him 10 times stronger.
Like Venom.
Yeah, what like?
Oh my god, the title ties it.
Right. Well, I mean, basically, this is like a prequel to Bane. Cause
Yeah,
Bane,
isn't that what he's got in
Yes.
this weird
Yeah.
muscle mask?
So it's basically like the story that leads up to Bane breaking Batman's.
That's
back.
what was in those patches in Batman Beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
It's kind of weird though, because now Bane is more of a luchador than anything.
I thought he was always a luchador.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Tattoos.
pronounced back in the... I mean, he was more of a... Apparently he was more of a smart thug. Apparently was his character design.
Mhm.
Really? Are you sure? You just look like a wrestle mask too.
He pretty much is. But now, in the new ones, in the new 52, he is mainly... He has an accent, and they're really playing off of it.
Yeah, I mean, because he is Hispanic descent, where in The Dark Knight Rises, he's all like, oh.
I mean, after Obama's Spider-Man, how can you... You gotta figure out to put an ethnicity
How
somewhere.
can you throw Obama Spider-Man in here, okay? Spider-Man met Obama and saved his life, okay?
And became him.
Alright, and
He became Obama.
Hmm?
My fellow Americans, I'm gonna save you from Doc Ock.
It's a thing we have, okay? It's not an actual comic. You're confusing the poor guy, okay? He's like, I gotta find
You got show. No. Spider-Man, when they put it was like a
At least it's
rerun.
light. If it was a Marvel, I could see it being a Marvel comic. I couldn't see it being a DC comic.
It was really weird because he looked spot on like Obama, like in the younger days.
No, yeah, I mean, because it was that hype of when Obama was going, or was after Obama became president. They interviewed Obama. He said when he was a kid, he loved reading Spider-Man comics. So Marvel decided to make a Spider-Man comic about, Peter Parker going to Washington to take pictures of the new president,
Right.
and the chameleon was gonna, take his identity, since he was a new president, he was gonna take his identity, but Spider-Man came in, saved the day, and you see a portrait of, him and Obama, fist pumping, saying, when I was a kid, you were my biggest inspiration. He's like, oh, thanks. And,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So,
And still, I would love to see the Obama comic. Oh,
they did make an Obama. It was an independent. I'll tell you about it later. But go.
I would like you to please stop hurting my city.
Or else I will raise your taxes.
I will also call in the army.
Yes.
I have control over that.
Um,
My fellow Americans.
the citizens of New York will be okay under the Obamacare. And
Best comic around.
Yes, 0 sales.
Don't even lie to
Zero
yourself.
sales.
Every comic book actor owns a copy of that book.
There was a comic book. It was an independent comic about, I don't know, like a Third World War happened, and I don't remember, but they were going through, like, the civilians were going through, like, kind of this army, and one of the soldiers was Obama. And it was like, I mean, weren't you like a senator or something? Like when they were like, yeah, I was a senator, and it was really freaky actually. They
Just imagine though if Robert De Niro got to play Batman. That'd be
Robert
amazing.
De Niro.
I could see it.
No.
Oh.
The comic books.
Yes.
Robert De Niro Batman.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi would be a good.
Hey, Joker, you Joker.
I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
I-
You're laughing at me.
Hey, you laughing at me? Huh? What's so funny?
Huh? What's so funny now?
Huh? What? Do I look like a clown to you or something? Huh?
End of comic.
Yeah.
That was 2 pages. What happened at the end? Joker got shot in the face. Did you not see it?
Yeah. Huh? You repeat it to you again? And then Robert De Niro comes by. Oh God, no, Robert.
I think they should make a movie for the 100th year of Batman. Every male actor that's ever wanted to play Batman should
my
get
God.
5 minutes to play Batman. So I would love to see like George Takei's Batman.
Oh, my Joker.
This could be an epic Hollywood.
Aren't you a funny little guy?
You're unnaturally good at that.
Sorry.
Does your fiance know about that?
She will never know my George. First of all, she doesn't know who George Takei is. So
That's not the point. That's a travesty to the world.
She doesn't know who George Takei is. She'll be like, I don't understand. Did you say fiance?
Yep, I am.
Oh my God.
You're getting married soon, aren't you?
I'm gonna get in trouble.
You're gonna propose to her, right?
I'm gonna get in trouble for that now. But you know what? There was a comic book called Batman 100 Year.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I really recommend reading it. It's basically, it takes place in 2039, and the government is hunting down for Batman, and they reach out to James Gordon's grandson, who's also now a detective, or the head chief of police of Gotham. And
Isn't
they
he
have
a
all this-
mercenary in the new one?
Who?
James Gordon's like Batgirl's like brother.
Batgirls. Oh, you mean Jason Gordon?
Yeah, isn't he
yeah. He's like he was almost like a psychopath or something. Like
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it's funny how they take him out and they put him back in sometimes. Like they change the continuity around because
Where
of
did
what's
James
going
go
on.
wrong?
I don't know.
Hey, I love justice in Batman. I want to kill people, Dad.
Right. So, but in the 100 year, like basically since 1939, Gotham has been dealing with this Batman. So it's been over 100 years. I mean, and they take back have photos of classic Batman in the 1970s Batman where he's like wearing, like the blue.
You mean like he's in this comic? Batman has been in Gotham for
100 years, right? Since 1939, which is actually when the comic was released.
And it was lighthearted and for kids.
Batman's immortal.
Yeah,
Whereas nowadays, it's like depressing all the time, and it's never lighthearted ever.
Well, no, this comic is not lighthearted at all. I mean,
Because it's a DC.
Well, I mean, yeah.
We're all about realism, people.
I guess.
We're not Marvel. We have to always look at the bright side of everything.
Okay. So I mean, but basically, I mean, it's a great comic. I would totally recommend reading it. You know.
That or Injustice Batman.
I can only take so much melodrama, especially in a comic. You know.
You can't take like too much. I mean, so Batman Brave and the Bold would be your cartoon then.
I don't know.
I mean,
A little bit sad with a little bit of happy and jazzy.
Yeah. I mean, I can see Danny liking Batman. Have you ever seen Batman Brave and the Bold?
Mm-hmm. No.
It's totally campy cartoon Batman.
But
that's why I like Gotham City Imposters, because it's silly.
It's a pretty good game.
You would really like Batman Brave and the Bold. If you have Netflix.
The nice thing about that, though, is they introduce a ton of characters.
Batman
The Metal Man,
yes.
Blue Beetle,
yes.
Plastic Man.
And it was so ridiculous. I mean, they would do like they would actually pull from like
a lot of sexual references in that show, people.
There are actually.
There were. The female Metal Man's like, "Hey, Batman, sit on my chair, which my face is the seat." Are you kidding me?
What?
Your 9-year-old's watching this.
That was hilarious.
That was the
That's the
funniest
exact line. Sit on my.
She's like, "Oh, here, I got a seat for you, Batman," and she winks at him, and her face is like on the actual seat.
Right, and he's like, it's
No,
okay,
I'll stand.
It's funny though. I mean, the only, and they're, I mean, that's saying the whole show is like that, but then they have episodes that are very, you know, like Chill the Night, and that's when Batman deals with, you know, fighting his parents, his killer, you know. And it was really good, but I would totally recommend watching it then.
Okay.
You know,
Or just the Batman.
That Batman's not that. I mean, it is serious though. I mean, you know, it is a little bit serious. I mean, they tried doing what they did with the animated, you know, Batman from the '90s, but they tried to modernize it. So beware that Batman was good for his time, and then
Batman Beyond, which was an amazing,
Batman
amazing
Beyond.
sequel.
Very good to Batman animated series.
If they made a sequel or a movie, that'd be amazing.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah. They've talked about it, and they've actually casted like tons of casts for this movie, and each one always gets like not enough funding, not enough time. Director wants to work on something else. It's been shot down like 5 times, even though they've had everything they needed to go for it.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, in a world like this, why can't you make every version of Batman? I mean,
there's so many good old actors now that could play old Bruce Wayne. It's not even funny.
And if they were to ever make a movie of The Dark Knight Returns, like Frank Miller's version, you know who would be a perfect
I can see
Bruce
old
Wayne?
Mel Gibson as Bruce Wayne.
You know who? I mean, a lot of people saying Clint Eastwood. You know, I'm sure
he's a little too.
But he's
Mel
too
Gibson,
old.
I can't see him.
With enough gray hair and a little bit older demeanor.
But you know who I think would be perfect? You know that guy from he's in Sin City to Kill a Dame.
Josh Brolin.
Yes, the bald-headed gentleman. The bald-headed.
Pretty sure you're talking about Josh Brolin.
And he was in Men in Black 3.
Yes, Josh Brolin.
He would make a perfect old.
If he does not have those thick eyebrows, yes.
Okay, fine. I guess not, you know. But I mean, I don't think you're mad. But I think he would make a perfect old Bruce Wayne. He would make a good retired Bruce Wayne from
possibly.
It doesn't matter who you cast, though. People are going to be up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you put enough consideration, you really explain where you're taking it from, you could avoid a lot of that instead of just being like, Fat Kilmer is now going to be old Bruce Wayne.
I was saying Josh Brolin would make a good old, you know, Bruce Wayne. He looks like he has that look.
I like to see Joshua Gordon-Levitt as Nightwing in a movie. He's also going to be in Sin City: A Dame to Kill For.
Yes.
He would be a good Nightwing.
Well, he was supposed to be, you know, that was leaning towards, you know, at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, you know, he was supposed to be the Nightwing, you know.
That's what I mean, but I really want to see the suit.
Yeah.
Because he got really worked out for Don John.
Yeah.
So he's already got the muscle mass.
I could totally see him as Nightwing, to be honest. I mean, I wish they would have made him Dick Grayson. You know?
No, not a chance.
No, you mean you prefer this new version of Robin, the Nightwing, where he's not Dick Grayson.
That's right.
Alright. Who's his own? So, anyway, so my quick review of, I just rewatched The Dark Knight, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Amazing. I fall in love with it all over. I fall in love with that movie every time I watch it. You know?
Did Batman have a robust costume?
He did have a robust costume.
Yeah.
He's old.
I know, you like those robust costumes.
Yes. He did have a very robust costume. Oh, God. Anyway, it was
you
a
can't
great...
really change it up that much, though, really, except for maybe nipples on the suit.
That's the weird part that I've always found about the movies.
Well, because
is that some of them didn't, but
the only one that did was that Tim Burton one, right?
That was, which
was awful.
Fat Kilmer's also.
Yeah, and then when George Clooney, of course, it's clearly out.
It's kind of weird. Like, why do you need those?
Yeah, there's no. It's impractical.
What's the point of those?
It is totally impractical. It makes no sense.
You got nipples on them. You got cut out 6-pack.
Why?
None of them can turn their heads.
No.
I'd say if I had to put on that costume, there's no way.
No, I mean, no one take it seriously. You're like, really? I mean, it's not until it's not until Christopher Nolan came in and made him real. So that's something that's always going to be left is that Batman. Plus the new one.
He still couldn't turn his head in the first one.
In the first one, yeah.
They had to make a scene.
Yeah.
Saying, "I want to turn my head."
Yeah. So.
Or Morgan Freeman says, "You want to turn your head."
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's the great part about it.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, though. I mean, his suit was so armored.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be if they do Batman Beyond, it's gonna be CGI. There's no way they're making a suit.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the face.
There's too many special effects in that suit to make it actual real.
You sure?
Yeah, to pull it off, they could do it, but they wouldn't want to invest the money. They'd be like, you know what? Green screen leotards, you would look so good in those.
Who could play? Are you talking about the whole movie being CGI? Or
no, just the Batman.
Just the Batman.
Who could play him? Young.
Again, Joshua Gordon-Levitt has that nice tall frame.
Yeah, but people are gonna want to see a different actor though, not him.
But who? There's young Batman.
The
skinny one
for Terry
McGinnis. Who I could see, who I could kind of see, which I don't know. I don't know.
Don't say Andrew Garfield.
No, he's Spider-Man. Too late.
Yeah. I mean, they have the same body.
They do. You need someone tall and skinny.
The Batman Beyond is
I know.
pretty much a Spider-Man.
Have you guys ever seen Never Back Down?
Yes. No.
No. The Bat Kid.
Yes. No. You're not casting that Cam Gidget. No.
What's wrong with that guy? I just saw him in a movie last night.
No.
Called.
No.
He was really good.
No. No.
To each his own opinion, Ryan.
He was in Twilight. I do not respect that man.
To each his own movie, alright?
You want to cast Twilight in your movies? You do it. Not in mine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
I bet the guy who played Edward Cullen could be him.
So
Cedric Diggory
would just.
Ryan's like,
there'd be so many fires across the room.
Daniel Radcliffe to do it.
He's not doing much these days.
Yes, he is. He's in Horns.
I was about to say he just had a movie that actually came out.
Wait, did Horns come out already?
I thought it did.
No, I don't think it did. I think the trailer just got released. That movie's been in production since.
That movie looks weird. I want to see it because it looks good, but it looks really bizarre.
Did you hear his accent? His American accent?
He could pull it off. I mean, he's an actor, so I don't know. But The Woman in Black left me really disappointed when I'm like, oh, okay, let's see.
I didn't see that.
Let's see his professional, and then the whole I'm showing my penis on Broadway.
What's that horror movie that Elijah Wood was just in? Where it's like part of it is from his point of view?
I feel like he's in like a slasher flick where he had like a knife on the cover. I know it's one. Because apparently he's supposed to be directing a whole bunch of horror flicks coming up.
Really?
That's supposed to be what he's getting into.
I like that they're both going into horror.
Alex.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not big into horror, but I do have some couple ideas for a horror movie. all of them end with a good note, okay? Because
no, that's not how you want to end a horror movie.
No,
I'm tired of seeing it.
I'm tired of... No, are you kidding me?
I'm
Nothing
tired.
ends well.
Nothing ends well in a horror movie. I'm tired of horror movies not ending well. That's the
Someone
whole
always gets out.
What's something recent that ends well?
Well, horror movie, yeah. Not Paranormal Activity. That stupid ass
Depends
movie.
how you look at it.
Stupid
You
ass.
know what?
Movie.
The only part of Paranormal Activity I did like was when they spread the flour on the floor and you could see the demon footprints in that. That was the only thing that kind of...
I don't know, I like the Xbox one. Where they put the Xbox dots all across the wall and you can like see the thing moving. I think it's Paranormal Activity 3.
I've only seen one.
Yeah. And that one they take like the Xbox One and have the camera, if you like, I don't know if this is real, but they said if you put it in dark screen you can see like all the dots that they broadcast out.
Oh my, and it's got like the face finder.
Yeah, and you can see like the demon's face and its movement going through the house because of the Xbox. That was amazing.
That's giving me chills right now.
That was the one too where like the dad like in the end like he's just killing their parents. He just takes the dad and, like folds him over like toothpaste.
See, but you see, I mean, now you're dealing with a fucking supervillain.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
mean,
No.
He's a demon. What do you expect from him?
Yeah.
Well, where's Superman then? Where's Batman? All right.
This is the real world.
It's supposed to be set in the real world. Okay, what about you guys? Are there
Where
any
the hell are
remakes?
the Ghostbusters? God damn it! Where are the Ghostbusters?
They died.
They're old.
Are they doing like an all-female version of Ghostbusters?
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard.
I think you have to now that Harold Ramis died and they feel.
And Bill Murray is being.
But why do you have to be all female? Why can't it be 2 guys and 2 girls?
Because the first Ghostbusters was all male. Nobody had a problem with that. So if second one, what's wrong with that being all female?
I don't know. I mean, I just.
It would be funny if they had hired Danny Aykroyd as the receptionist. That would make me happy. I'm tired of this job.
Okay, are there any horror like classic remakes of classic horror movies that you guys have seen that you think are okay?
That I liked?
Yeah.
He doesn't watch horror movies.
Okay, what about you?
No. But he's talking about like the remake of like Frankenstein and Dracula and.
No. Like The Hills Have Eyes or Halloween.
Yeah.
Or
House on Haunted Hill had a lot of remakes.
What's it called? I already said Halloween. Friday the 13th and Nightmare on
Friday the 13th was very good.
Yeah, with the fast Jason.
Friday the 13th was good.
But Nightmare on Elm Street was...
It had a bad story, but great...
I like the...
graphics.
Yes.
That was way...
It trudged on.
They made a lot more probability... It wasn't weird. The first one, pulling you through waterbeds, no one has a waterbed. I'm not afraid of no waterbed.
Are you talking about the one with Johnny Depp, or are you talking about the remake?
Not the remake.
The remake was... I did not.
It was good. I like the guy.
I love all of the Freddy Krueger.
The guy that got casted.
You know, I have to say.
You mean Rorschach?
I liked him. I thought he did a really good job.
But they made him a pedophile. Like they made it obvious that he was a pedophile.
They did pronounce it more.
Whereas in the other ones, it was just.
Oh, they killed him by accident, or they
accused him. The parents assumed they did it. It was never really proven. But there's a lot of.
And that kind of made him, like a revenge character, which, sometimes that's. Identify with that.
Here they're pretty much like, yeah, we caught you, we saw you, it's going down.
That opening scene, though, if you ignore that he was actually torturing those kids.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good opening scene.
Alex, you disappoint me.
I don't know. Well, because he deserved to die, and then he comes back and he starts killing kids.
Well, no, but they didn't do it properly. I mean, they put him in a boiler room. He didn't go to trial. He didn't go to jail. They took it upon themselves to kill him.
Okay.
You'd be pretty pissed about that. I mean, you gotta think of your view of the psycho. Like, who are you to go and kill me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm the parent of the child who you molested, I mean, I would pretty much want.
Okay, yeah, but those are the people you root for now.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger is like one of those villains that you want to root for because he's like creative in his killings, like Welcome to Primetime, bitch, or pulling the guy into the bed and spraying his blood everywhere.
Amazing.
Or like turning somebody into a cockroach, or like his hands turned into.
But you have to say the best horror movie you saw recently that was amazing, Cabin in the Woods. I love it.
Wow.
Josh Whedon is amazing.
I have to say I haven't seen it yet. And
I
wanted to.
What is wrong with you?
I know. I want to see it because I hear it's the most original horror movie that's been out, and it's done by Josh Whedon. So I mean, I definitely want to see it. So I definitely want to see it.
You disappoint me.
I disappoint myself.
You offended my family and the Shaolin Temple. For that, you must die.
There's some Left 4 Dead zombies in there too.
There's so many. Rumor has it that there's somehow that they want to tie it in with like Buffy or something like Wolfram and Hart
some Buffy
owned
monsters
it.
in there.
Yeah, they want to see that like Wolfram and Hart like actually own the facility.
Wow, he's
And
going that
part
far.
of people want to say that like the reason why like people maybe
doesn't
had to leave
matter.
Earth was because of what happened in Cabin in the Woods, and that's what started Firefly when they left Earth.
Oh,
Because
wow.
they never actually said what happened to Earth. They said Earth was.
I was
in
gonna
the
say
Gulf.
it doesn't matter because Earth got destroyed, but
Yeah,
Those are those movie conspiracy theories.
it's Josh Whedon. Okay,
Firefly's kind of similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't it? Just a bunch of criminals.
it's
in
pretty
space.
similar to a degree.
What did you see the Wayland in the first episode, Wayland Utami symbol at the beginning of the first episode of Firefly?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen Firefly in a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so I'll show you guys.
It's
it.
really sad to watch because then I'm like,
There
it's a
could
great
be more
show
of
that
this,
got one season.
And a movie, yeah.
Although Serenity was good.
Yes. Yes, Randy. Yeah.
Oh, there was a movie?
Yeah.
I did not.
It's okay. It's okay. It's like, if you like the Avengers, you'll like,
If
he
you didn't watch
directed-
Cabin in the Woods.
You know he directed the Avengers, right?
Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also. Wait, did he do Cloverfield?
No.
Who did Cloverfield?
J.J. Abrams.
Ah,
Yeah, same thing.
J.J. Abrams.
Hopefully you'll do good Star Wars.
I
Alright.
bet he will.
So.
Practical effects.
So.
In terms of other great movies to come out, Sharknato 2
I didn't even see
was
Sharknato.
amazing.
I like bad movies,
This is one of them.
But that one was marketed as bad, whereas like The Room.
He's
Or,
very
The
specific.
Room was
with,
good. The Room, I that was the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. I love The Room. It is hilarious. The dialogue
you
for
think
The
Tommy
Room.
Wiseau was actually like that, or is that just a character?
That is definitely a character.
It's gotta be.
Because when they
There's
did an
no way
interview when it
somebody-
first came out, he's like, I like to go sit in the theater with my audience. I like to hear them yell about, why did she get cancer and it was never brought up again. He really enjoyed it, so I think he was just...
You see his machinima thing? Where he plays
no.
video games with an alien?
No. I remember it got its own game.
Huh?
It got its
Oh
own
yeah,
game,
on
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds. Yeah, so did Tremors actually.
That was both games. Highly amazing.
Tremors is like my favorite movie.
Tremors is a great movie.
Kevin Bacon. Amazing hero.
It's about it. They should. Could you imagine them remaking Tremors?
It would have to be without. It would have to be with.
Again, I feel it's going to fall victim to
Fred.
CGI.
Oh yeah, it would.
Yeah, I mean the
What
last
isn't?
two did.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what?
So
though,
did the
J.J.
TV series.
You know what? J.J. Abrams is doing a lot of practical effects, and I'm really happy about
That's
it.
Yeah,
what
you know,
people
did
should
you
go
guys
back
see
to.
The Thing?
Yes.
The Thing.
I was not...
Oh, the
entirely
like
happy
the
with
prequel.
I was pretty happy.
Like the
Except that they showed the inside of the ship is where I started not enjoying it.
Yeah, the one where they had the
prequel-
ice.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
prequel
but-
to the thing, right?
I mean, they played everything,
Pretty much.
right, except for the
I
ship.
thought-
The ship I could have done without.
I thought it was okay.
But there's a lot
Yeah.
less CGI in that than you think. There was a lot more practical effects.
I would say, if you're going to remake Tremors, you have the ability to make this monster 2 weeks with enough production.
But yeah, I think it would have to be practical effects.
For Tremors, yeah. I mean,
But no, I don't want it to be a remake. I'd want it to be with
I would like
Michael
to actually do a
Gross.
sequel.
yeah.
Like the Tremors have gone away. And then
It was
somehow,
called. They were doing one called Tremors 5 Thunder from Down Under.
I can see
Where
it.
Bert goes to Australia.
Oh my god! But there was that series. Do you remember her? Do you guys remember the Tremors series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the series.
And,
it's
and
so
like,
shitty.
Christopher Lloyd was in it. Like
Was he?
Yeah, Christopher
He's
Lloyd.
been in everything.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was in it. I mean, he was the one that because there's other creatures that were in there besides.
Oh, he was a mixmaster.
Yeah, like there was like the creatures who they were spliced and they were
The
running
shrimp.
amok, something
And
like
that
that.
dog thing.
So, and that was a very short-lived series. Yes, and then there's Tremors 4, the prequel, where it was
Yeah.
about
Okay, Tremors 1 and 2 were great. Tremors 3 was pretty
well,
not great.
It went straight to video.
Yeah, so did Tremors 2.
Yeah, no,
No,
so-
that's where Tremors
No.
shined was Tremors 1. That's where it shined was home video rentals. Also with
Really?
Evil Dead. Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that. I mean,
Tremors 3 was bad, but the Tremors 4 brought it back.
Tremors 4, bro.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. A lot.
I
Like that
haven't
part
seen
where
it
they
yet.
dig the flagpole and then put that long tree saw down in there and then bang on the saw so the graboid comes and gets sliced in half by the saw.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I was like the first one. What should we do? So that run into a brick wall. Stopped you right in your track.
Yeah. So, explain to us Sharknato.
What is there to explain? It's a tornado with sharks.
Was the acting any good?
Yeah,
I mean, the first one was probably better because they're definitely living on hype, so they probably got a bigger budget.
What was the subtitle for the second one? Just the second one?
No, yeah.
The second one.
The second one. It was Sharknato 2, the second one.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
The amount of actors that they got for the second one, though, there's no way that they had the money to afford all those people.
Was it as good as Piranha 3D?
Or you mean
Depends
Piranha
on-
DD?
If you're looking
3DD.
If you're looking
Both.
for like CGI as good as that, no, because they clearly definitely the same,
Not
if
taking
not
itself
better.
seriously at
Yeah,
all.
I mean you have Jared from Subway in this. Again, Vivica Fox, who I haven't seen since Kill Bill, really. She was in it. Peppa from Salt and Pepper. Kurt Angle, Andy Dick, Perez Hilton for The Gossip.
Really?
Tara Reid, who got like a Bruce. She put like a handsaw to her hand to cut sharks, which was awesome.
She cut her own hand off?
No, I got bit off by a shark.
He got bit off by a shark?
Well, it's so Evil Dead.
It's pretty cool because then he found the shark and he pulled her hand out that still had the gun on it, and then he taken her and shot the other sharks. That's probably my favorite part.
And this isn't the first one?
This is the second one. Why do you mock Sharknado?
I'm not.
You're so
it's
jealous.
Meant to be
You're
I
mocked.
don't really have any
It's
drive
meant-
to see it.
It's meant to be mocked. Okay, let's just be honest.
I had the chance to watch it today, but instead I watched Fargo.
I mean, Fargo's good. If
Yeah.
you've never seen the original Fargo, you are not American.
Okay,
Alex, did you watch Fargo?
let's move on.
Did you watch Fargo?
Alex, did you watch Fargo?
Did you watch
Come on,
Fargo?
man. You gotta
Did
see
you
Fargo.
watch Fargo?
I thought Argo over there was Fargo. I was excited that you'd seen it, but it was Argo, and I was disappointed.
I know what Fargo is. I have not seen it.
This has to be one of this launched black comedy in terms
Yeah.
of movies.
Okay.
This made like the black comedy like this. We can make so much
Steve
misfortune
Buscemi's
look
great.
great.
But you know they're making a series out of it.
They
They
did.
did.
It's already on.
Season 2.
It's been going.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Isn't it good?
They have a series.
It's pretty
It's
good.
got Bilbo in it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Is Bilbo playing Jerry?
It's been a while since I've last ended on.
Is
Billy
he
Bob
even
Thornton is
following
amazing in it.
But he doesn't play the same character, does he?
I really want to see it without Steve Buscemi.
Didn't Bill Bob Thornton wasn't the first? He was in the Fargo movie, wasn't he?
Billy Bob Thornton.
I don't believe so.
He
Yeah,
wasn't?
it
I
was
thought he- I
the
thought
only
he
person I
was.
could recognize was Steve Buscemi.
It made the wood chipper famous.
Yeah.
Alright, fine. So let's talk about
Dracula.
Dracula, yes.
Dracula Untold with Luke Evans.
Yes, sir, yes. What's your thoughts about the trailer?
I think it's gonna be another Bram Stoker
Classic?
with Anthony Hopkins when he redefined what Dracula was.
Yes.
Was he the one with the Dracula armor? He had like the red.
Yes, at the beginning of the movie.
That was
Yeah.
one
Who
of
was the
best-
one with the butt haircut? Was that?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, that was the first one, yes.
Okay, who was Dracula in that?
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
No. The guy who played Jim Gordon from the Batman movies.
Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman played, yes.
Was Dracula with the butt haircut?
Yes. Yeah, Gary Oldman played Dracula, and Anthony Hopkins was Van Helsing.
See, okay.
Yes.
Was
Yes.
Christopher Walken ever a Dracula? Or am I just
I
imagining
mean,
that?
technically, I guess Sleepy Hollow, he looked like Dracula.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay,
That was kind of weird.
I have
With
him
the
pictured in my
teeth.
head
Yeah.
with the red robe and the
He
the
has
powdered
similar
wig hair.
yeah.
No, yeah, Gary Oldman played Dracula, and
That was probably the best Dracula.
It was a really good movie. Yeah, that was a good one.
And this
But-
is probably gonna.
but-
I'm not really all that
Okay,
excited.
the
for
only
this
the,
one.
the only part I did not like was Keanu Reeves playing Englishman and his horrible accent.
Wait,
How
are you talking
dare
about the
you.
trailer that we just watched?
No.
No.
This is the original
no,
Bram
the
Stoker's.
original Bram Stoker's Dracula, with Keanu Reeves, who's like, "Blooming Inferno." Whoa. And
What's Keanu Reeves done recently?
oh, Ronan.
Oh,
Bro,
yeah.
47 Ronin was good.
47
I
Was it?
loved
Are you
that
sure?
movie.
I heard that it was not good.
I liked the book. The book was fantastic, and they did a really good job of putting the folklore into the movie.
Um,
He's also moved on to directing. I mean, he's pretty much done acting.
Good. Good God. All right.
He was good in Street Kings as well. That was a good movie.
I haven't seen it yet, so I couldn't.
Besides, they're remaking Ted and Bill's Excellent Adventure. I cannot wait for that.
With Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know who else, but I love those movies.
Middle age Ted. Whoa, we're still trying to be Cotard.
Hey, Alex, where's that jealousy coming from?
It's what jealousy? I'm just saying it's gonna be I'm predicting what's gonna happen.
You wish you were Keanu Reeves' shoes.
Yeah. What did you think about the trailer for the new Dracula movie Untold?
I would say it's on the level of Bram Stoker's. It's going to reinvent Dracula.
Mm-hmm. And
doesn't look like something I'd actively go see.
Vampires have been ruined. I mean, there's so many horror movies that have came out.
Well, I mean, they're trying to bring it back to it being vampires being scary.
I want to see vampires in Transylvania. I want to see them with all the weaknesses that they have.
Oh, just go see Hotel Transylvania.
But I want to see all the
movie
strengths as well.
Well, I mean, I think it will be fresh to see a classic vampire again.
The last time I saw a vampire was flipping Twilight.
I didn't even.
That's the last time someone ever brought up vampire.
I mean, last time I saw a vampire movie.
The only good one I could say that came out before that was Fright Night with Colin Farrell.
Yes!
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
That was probably one of the best remakes.
Yeah, the best. And they did a sequel to that, but it went straight to DVD.
Yeah, but
is it like a creep show type?
No, I mean,
where they tell multiple stories.
No,
it was just one.
I don't know what it is.
No, okay.
Very good.
Yeah, Fright Night is basically
the original's on Netflix.
Yeah, the original's on Netflix. It's basically in this
vampire
movie,
picks rural towns, and like one by one, he just starts wiping people off to feed, and he just keeps moving on.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like Salem's Lot? Or am I thinking
similar, kind-ish, but not exactly like it.
And the title is from like this kid who watches the show. It's called Fright Night, and this guy who talks about vampires. So he goes
pretty much does like magic and stuff. He just talks about the supernatural.
Right.
So Svengoolie.
Almost,
Yeah.
So when he finds out vampires is really living, he goes and seeks this guy who doesn't know he's just a. And we're talking about the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just an actor. He just talks
he's just
about
fake.
him. Right. But then he gets involved, and they have to kill this vampire.
The nice thing about it, though, is the vampire can't go into your home unless he's invited. He can only come out at night. He still has all the weaknesses. It plays by the classic vampire.
You know what that enters the home thing reminds me of is it came out in the 90s. It was like a voodoo, Louisiana voodoo. Sorry to derail the thing, but I really want to know what this is called.
Last time I've seen any movies that you can't walk in.
These two slaves were practicing voodoo, and they keep like putting their spirits into new bodies with voodoo, and they keep luring people to this house.
The last movie I remember that was even close was like Venom, where it was like this pasty white guy that was voodoo. And it took place in like Louisiana.
It's called Skeleton Key. I'm sorry.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. That was not bad.
With the brick dust across the thing.
Yeah. So it has. I mean, technically, I think that's just demonology in general. Because you'll see that in many movies. What was the one? Stay Alive, which was the video game that they played and turned into like an actual horror.
Is this like an old one or new?
No, this is relatively new. But ghosts can't like cross like roses or something, and this one did the same thing. A lot of movies have been going back to the traditional ones.
Right.
And that's why I say Dracula looks fantastic.
I'm honestly looking forward to seeing it because I mean it is a different take on it,
They don't sparkle.
Yeah.
There's action.
And I've always felt like because that was the whole story, wasn't it? Dracula
Transylvania.
and Dracula was a hero. He was a king. Right, and then he became evil. So I am looking for it because I've never seen any movie talked about that.
I mean, like I said, Bram Stoker will.
I mean, he delved in a little.
But it's hard because not everyone wants to. Again, if you put too much black plot like Thor 1, people get bored easily. Especially now, you don't want to invest 40 minutes of your time.
Yeah, and right. So it could be hit or miss then. Sticking with horror-ish, we're going to do something a little bit lighter on the horror side. We're going to be talking about Goosebumps with Jack Black.
That will be amazing. Was that San Diego Comic-Con?
Yes, I saw the first
He was
one.
actually dressed up like Jack Black, or R.L. Stein. That's how he's going to look in the movie.
Yes.
Is there a trailer like publicly
No,
out?
not yet.
No,
They're
not
still
yet.
waiting to release
There's
that.
photos.
I've seen photos of Jack
And he
Black.
did a skit, actually, in San Diego.
Jack Blake was in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
He actually brought Slappy with and like made him talk on stage and
Wow.
had monsters come.
But it was awesome because when he was doing that, all of a sudden, like, you know, like, I mean, he's like...
He let go of the puppet.
Yeah, he let
at
go of the
one
puppet, and then the puppet started talking on his own.
Well, it sounds like Dead
And
Silence.
then,
Kind of, but it was still funny, like, to a point where, like,
yeah.
if you're a kid, like, you're kind of scared because it's freaky,
Yeah.
but you like it because
Yeah.
it's funny at the same
Right,
time.
and Jack Black was like having a conversation. And I don't know what
Are you
happened.
crazy?
Yeah.
Out of his chair?
No.
Calm yourself down.
Sorry, and then like the puppet was making fun of Jack Black. He was like, what would you know? And you know, and the puppet's like, well, I'm sorry, people know you from like Kung Fu Panda, you know, and he was making fun of Jack Black, and you know.
But then the bad thing is I didn't get to see all the monsters that they brought on stage.
No, they cut
They
it
cut it off, but
they did have photos though.
yeah, but it's
We
like,
watched
like
it online. You weren't there.
yeah, nah. But
No,
Slappy's like, I got some
San Diego.
friends that are coming to get you,
Yeah.
and I guess I've seen some pictures of
Yeah.
what happened.
They
Like 6 monsters grab him, and he just disappears from the stage.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But the
I
premise
would've
of the
loved to be
movie
there.
is essentially R.L. Stein's like cooped up in his house. He doesn't leave.
Right,
These
and
Because
kids break in.
He's like he writes those books
Yeah.
to keep the monsters inside.
Right.
Or something.
And essentially,
Right.
what I heard was he has to explain to kids is that the monsters are actually inside his head, like that's his dark side, and he's trying to get that out because he's tired of living this life, and that's how he does this. Writes his books to keep the monsters inside.
and somehow the monsters.
The kids
escape.
just break into his house, and they open the books not knowing that they're actual like prisons.
Right.
Are they gonna be like Goosebumps paperback stuff
Yeah.
with Scholastic on them, or are they gonna be
Similar, I think they're gonna be like within the same. They're probably
or
gonna
like
be
They-
leather bound, creepy looking?
They haven't released a lot of details, but we know like
More than likely.
I mean, we know like Pumpkinhead's gonna be in there.
Because if you saw the original Night of the Living Dummy, that puppet and what was on the actual like paperback looked nothing like each
Oh,
other.
Like the
no,
one
yeah.
in the
The
movie
one in the
looks
movie,
like the paperback.
spot on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And that, like I said, it's gonna be funny. Some of the scenes he talked about, some of his dialogue, where he said like it's gonna be funny enough that you can take your kids because he's like there's this one scene where they're running away from the monsters in his house. He's like, kids like, why couldn't you write about unicorns and fairies? And he's like, that doesn't sell 400 million books.
It's kind of like
That's
a
too
Gremlins
funny.
situation where
It's good. Like I said, he wanted enough where
Wait,
people of us could still see it, and because we want to be scared and we like that.
a little bit.
That's
like,
pretty
if
much
you're-
every kid's movie.
but-
If you're 8 or
like,
9, you can still
yeah.
go and not necessarily be too scared.
Yeah, which is nice, you know. I would want to go and see that, take my niece or something, you know.
You
Or
just do
go
that
by
with
myself.
any like animated.
Well, that's the
feature.
problem because Goosebumps started off good, but his like again, the Night of the Living Dummy got jacked up. Hasn't kept anything sequels.
Yeah.
Because I remember the second and third one where he actually tried to like,
books or was there
the books.
The
Yeah.
book.
He actually tried to like turn the kids into puppets and kill some of them. I mean, he was actually out there to kill in the
Right,
books.
He became.
I mean, he really wanted to kill them, like
Right.
silence them.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited. For
The
this
ones I
one.
remember the most from Goosebumps was the worms one, Slappy, and this one with like a sponge that when you're mean to it or something it grows, so you gotta be nice to it and it'll shrink.
There's
Right,
so many.
And it was a
Stupid
sponge.
ones. Yeah, I remember.
I was told that it looks like a sponge. That's kind of
Yeah,
It surprised me, because there's a blob one.
yeah.
not every Goosebumps book was a good.
Not
No,
everyone was best.
No.
In fact, if you read them as an adult today, you'd be like,
But there were classic ones. There were like the Haunted Mask, which you put it on and it started becoming, you started becoming that.
That
culture.
one was only big though because it went out to VHS everywhere. That was the first one. If you never had Goosebumps, this was the biggest VHS one.
Yeah.
It also is probably the only Goosebumps before the show that got, which season 1 is on Netflix. Very
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I hope
That's
they have
right.
the theme song in the score somehow.
The theme song is probably the most iconic theme song ever.
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Are you scared? You're in for a scare.
The genie just goes over stuff and it gets like kind of crappy, but not too crappy.
Well, the nice thing is then they would do like flashes of each episode in the monsters, so it gave you.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
I think that'd be great.
There's also one where like the kids were, you know, screw it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm done with Goosebumps. Move on.
We just need to get those books.
Yeah.
Buy them up.
I know, right? You can probably find them on.
They probably cost like
Amazon.
2 cents.
Probably. I'd say you could probably go to Goodwill and everyone's like donated them. Because as soon as these movies are come out, you know they're gonna re-release like limited edition movie one, and they're gonna sell for like $20 a piece.
Yeah, which would be ridiculous. So, the rumor about, or is it official? I'm not sure. Of Guillermo del Toro making Pacific Rim 2 and Hellboy 3.
I mean, what was his last film? Because it wasn't Pacific Rim. I feel like he did one more movie.
Isn't it Mama?
Maybe.
Mama was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I don't know if that was his most recent.
But I feel like he's taken a backseat because he used to be.
No, he's doing an animated feature now.
Which one?
Book of Life, it's like marionettes in the land of the dead.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
The mariachi one.
Oh, okay.
It's like.
Yes,
like
you're right.
Maxopolis Animation Studios.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I saw the trailer.
But I mean, in terms of his actual like hard-hitting movies, because he's known for just doing big fantasy. I mean, Pan's Labyrinth was probably one of my best practical makeup in terms of effects. Mm-hmm. That movie they did so good on that.
Well, yeah, and then they transitioned that. Was that that was after? Yeah, that movie came out before Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they used those guys to do the creature effects for Hellboy 2. So.
And Pacific Rim was
amazing.
Yeah.
And I like the action.
The action was great.
Also like Charlie Day.
The storyline for it was just fantastic.
No,
for what?
I liked
absolutely
not. I loved K-Day, the launch.
The best
Ron
actor
Perlman was good.
Yeah, Ron Perlman, Charlie Day, and also that little girl in that flashback were the only actors that I believed.
I don't know. Charlie Hunnam, I thought it was good.
Wait, who's Charlie?
He was the main pilot.
Guy. Yeah,
yeah, plus that one, E.B. God, what's his name? The black man.
Oh,
British.
No.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yep.
Yes, Idris.
He is a great actor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there was like 5.
I mean, a lot of people said that he could have been Lex Luthor in the new movie.
I want to see him as Jon Stewart as Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He would have made a great Jon Stewart.
What was his name in Prometheus?
Captain
what?
Captain. Oh man. But yes, Del Toro is rumored to be back in work.
Yeah, and what about Hellboy 3?
That one is completely up in the air. Pacific Rim 2 was actually confirmed.
Okay.
Hellboy 3 is still... I think he wants to do it, but he's still in script writing.
Okay.
Is Ron Perlman an old man now?
No, he's still... he still stays pretty active.
Yeah.
Especially with Sons of Anarchy, I think, on its final season.
I mean, he has a long acting career.
And really, with most of his stuff,
he's in like every Del Toro movie.
Yeah, I mean, again, best practical makeup still in use today.
Mm-hmm.
If Del Toro and Tim Burton could team up, I think they could make a great movie.
No more Tim Burton.
He's hit or miss.
He's missed every time.
He does a lot of anime stuff now, and also now Alice in Wonderland.
He's great though at claymation. I mean,
yeah.
He didn't even direct Nightmare Before Christmas. Did you know that? He was doing Batman Begins. It was Henry Selick.
Wouldn't surprise me, but it's his name that sold it.
And then, he's also rumored to be doing the Pacific Rim anime series. So that'd be interesting to see. Have every mech fighting a robot. Because it was like 10, 20 years they were fighting these creatures in the movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible the show could lead into the sequel.
Yeah. So.
Like that Tron Uprising.
Yeah.
Tron, that was a great series.
Yeah, it was.
And then it got sent to Disney XD, and nobody freaking watches Disney XD.
No, it was always on Disney XD.
Always on Disney?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of Gravity Falls.
No, I mean, well, it's just like they left on a cliffhanger, man.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's on hold. It's on hiatus.
It's just weird because everyone hated Tron 2, which I like.
Really?
No,
Are you serious?
I
Look,
love
that was
Tron
like
Legacy.
I
that
think
and
people-
Prometheus are my favorite IMAX
I
experiences.
think
Yeah.
people are mad because Tron didn't end the way that they wanted it to.
Tron.
Well,
With him
okay.
getting back out of Tron and
Yeah.
him and his dad.
I wanted Jeff Bridges to get out of there, but I mean, I can do it.
I can take it. I can understand
You know
why
what?
he did what he did, and
I heard,
I
you know,
do have a little problem with. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The main criticisms I heard of Tron, whatever it's called, Tron Legacy or whatever, was that it wasn't the same as, it wasn't similar at all really to the first Tron.
but it wasn't ever going to be because the graphics
Yeah.
have come so far.
And also the first Tron really wasn't.
And they explained
really
it well in
all
the
that great.
beginning. Like, I freed Tron, and we're rebuilding the grid. So why would
Right.
you expect it to stay the same?
No.
You're rebuilding it.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, Tron was never in Tron Legacy. The Tron.
was.
The,
He was
Yeah.
Rinsler.
He
Yeah.
wasn't Tron himself
but he
until the
wasn't-
very
yeah,
end.
No, he was always Tron. Did you guys play the video game?
No.
Never mind.
I did a little. I returned because I hated it. I get frustrated with it. But I'm just saying, like, the first Tron movie was about. Yes, it was about the guy going into the game, but it was also about Tron being
It's
a
kinda
hero
boring.
and stuff like that. But
First
that's
Tron.
but that's the whole. I mean, that was the beginning of it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
what were you expecting? But then the second one should have been. It should have had like Tron, like maybe like his face is kind of like messed up, you know, and
Like the
series,
Yeah.
you know, and then him, you know, I know like fighting Clue. I mean, I thought that would have been awesome.
But the nice thing about the way that they ended Tron Legacy is that he could easily reinvent the grid.
Yeah.
He has he has everything he needs to bring back the grid. So I think it's still possible. Oh, is this breaking news?
No.
Who's it from? Is it your fiance that you proposed to last week?
You're gonna give me trouble, man. You're gonna give me so much trouble.
But the biggest thing definitely from Pacific Rim is Oculus Rift. And for those that
I've heard nothing about this.
I don't know. For you who don't know, Oculus Rift obviously is the developer eyeglass wear,
Mm-hmm.
3D. That again will be the
I
future.
kickstarted a horror game that's for it.
Very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man. I thought you didn't know what Oculus Rift was.
No, I haven't heard anything about the Pacific Rim thing. You're the one who
Oh,
only
oh,
just heard about
sorry.
Oculus Rift last
For those
week.
of you know, you cannot actually buy Oculus
No.
Rift.
Unless you kickstarted it.
And even now when you buy it, they have a developer's package.
Yeah, that's what.
But you can't actually buy Oculus Rift for home use yet.
Yeah.
It's coming definitely because I think most operating systems now can boast up to 50 games and more.
Sony's also making some.
Yeah. And you're probably going to see it in arcades since those are coming back.
There was a big uproar about Oculus being bought by Facebook, but that's
I
died
heard
down.
it.
The
Yeah.
uproar's gone because, you know.
I don't see why you would want to combine those two.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing bad has come of it. They're still
No.
doing stuff for it.
But Oculus Rift is probably going to be the way that we watch all movies now.
I don't know.
I mean,
Some
you
movies
can't-
I'd like to.
Some movies you could.
Horror
but
movies would be amazing in Oculus
Yeah.
Rift.
Well, you'd have to be like
Playing it. What?
No.
maybe something like a ride at Disney or one of those, you know,
Like a roller
virtual
coaster.
reality things.
Possibly, because the way you could start making movies is you can actually kind of explore or choose the way some movies end.
I'd like to see something like that opera demo that they had, where you just sitting back and watching the scenery.
And I can see that in a movie where, like, you're kind of in, like, the camera guy's position,
Yeah.
looking in, and, like, you have enough of a parameter on, like, your side that you can still see, like, the markings and stuff on the side, but your main focus will always be on the actual cast.
If there was like
I
camera
think-
angle changes,
Yeah.
that could be.
And that's easy to do.
I think it would be a great video game. I mean, as far as watching movies,
That's what
It's already, I mean, that's what it's for, is video games.
yeah.
But the applications for movies can be pretty awesome.
Yeah, for
Imagine being on the Avengers and looking on the battlefield. Like, imagine riding behind the Hulk as he jumps up. The amount of action you can capture, and the amount of visuals that it, like I said, you wear your earbuds and everything like that, is specifically zoned in. There's no missing, like, what someone said. It's
Yeah, I mean, I remember they had something like that when I was a kid, actually. an Oculus. I remember.
Going to Disney or something, playing
Yeah,
Aladdin
yeah.
thing.
And it was still.
Yeah.
It's always been around.
Yeah, but
you've always seen a big 3D.
Yeah.
But this is like for home use, like $200, and you get.
And I like to see comic books being read that way, where you could just upload the latest comic book and be able to look down and read page to page.
Well, that's what kind of the iPad is now, though, on the app.
Yeah, but again, there's so many with Oculus Rift. There's so many visuals you can pack in.
I wouldn't get an Oculus just to read a comic book virtually.
No, but I think that's the thing is when they could be like you could sell it to a market to buy one, but now you can play games. Now you can watch movies. You can do everything. Because you'll have people that will buy an iPad for business, and then they're next thing you know, the next day they're playing Angry Birds. I mean, you're just gonna get sucked into.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway.
Doom and Oculus Rift.
Oh my god!
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
Doom. That would be a good.
So
yeah, that'd be.
They released at QuakeCon. They released footage of Doom 4.
I love Doom.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the movie.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought
liked
it was
that
great.
first person thing. I didn't think it was great, but I liked it.
The first half was a little boring, but as soon as he woke up and he reminded me of the video game, that was just
That came out in 2005.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was 12 years old when I first saw it, and I didn't know what was good and what was bad when I was 12. So if I see it again, I'll probably not like it.
You were 5 in 2000. You were 12 in 2005.
Yeah, I'm 21 years old.
I know. It's just
I'm 24. Alex, how old are you?
I'm none of your damn business. That's.
What are you, like 29?
No, not yet.
Are you on Medicare yet?
Not.
You should probably sign up for double ARP.
Did I do that when I threw it?
Aww. Good job.
Spider-Man's gone down, people.
Good
That's
job.
what we're looking at.
I broke Spider-Man's web shooty hand.
Good
He
job.
will never spin a web again.
I ruined Marvel Comics
Good
forever.
job, Denzel.
Right.
It's
Well,
the Denzel.
The Denzel, whatever.
That wraps up another episode, unless we got any final comments.
We have 2 more things I wanted to cover before we wrap up.
Go for it.
The Arkham Knight video game. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you really can't rate too much of it yet because we've seen only trailers.
They had gameplay of the Batman.
Until I can actually play it, it's hard for me to say. Because when you bring out the game, in a lot of these games now, they're not actually letting people test them. They're like, "Let me play this for you." You can make be like, "Okay, I just need you to master 5 minutes for me. I know this sucks. There's so many bugs. Do not make me look like an asshole in front of all these people." And they're like, "Oh, look at this game. It's so great." And then you find out a week
There's an
later
entire unfinished level behind
that
it.
it's just been pushed back. So until I can actually see that people have gone through and played it, and I really want to see more fighting. I like the Batmobile, but I want to see villains, and I want to see if they've improved any fighting. Because that's gonna be their biggest thing: is how are you gonna improve Origins?
Well, I would do. So you liked Origins?
Origins was good.
I heard it was not good.
I think it was,
liked
but it was different. That's the problem. People
It's the only
wanted-
one that wasn't by.
Yeah, it was definitely remade.
Yeah.
But the graphics and the storyline that they picked were way better than Asylum and.
Because it wasn't around Arkham.
You know what?
It was about Batman and Gotham.
I watched the cutscenes for Origin. I never played any of the Arkham games, but I watched the cutscenes for Origins on YouTube.
Yeah, it was good.
No, it seemed like they were just trying really hard to cram as many villains as they could into it. And
They had a good storyline that it really worked
yeah.
with all the villains that they put in.
I loved the add-on they did with Cold Heart.
Yeah.
Where it was Mr. Freeze, and you had to wear the extra suit, to protect yourself from the extreme cold. I thought it was awesome. I thought that add-on they added to the game was great. So.
Penguin was amazing in that game.
Both.
Danny
both
DeVito.
Games. Stop it.
He was the best Penguin
no,
ever.
I love Danny DeVito.
Stop
as a
it.
Penguin. Danny DeVito is one of my favorite
Oh my
actors.
god.
The only bad thing about the way that they did that with Danny DeVito
Oh my god.
was that he was never truly developed to be like that.
No, he wasn't.
He was always a really...
That was Tim Burton's version.
He was always a cocky British man. I mean,
yeah.
he had the physical features.
But in the Tim Burton one, he was like a weird.
Pale,
Yeah.
wasted.
I love that. I love when Danny DeVito is in ridiculous situations.
And that's the problem, because I think after that movie came out, no one took the Penguin serious.
No, because the Penguin's supposed to be like an arms dealer. He's supposed to be like he's a gangster. That's what the Penguin is.
But he generally stays.
That looks like
out
a
of
penguin
trouble.
and is like penguin themed.
Yeah, because of his nose and his back is arched and
He came from like a kid's cartoon. You know that. The
no
original Batman was for little baby children.
The
like
comic.
Yeah.
No.
It's hard to say because a lot of comics
They
that
got a
originally
guy
came out because Superman used to never destroy buildings and was always helping people.
Yeah.
Right, he was like a fireman.
And now he's like,
But I think
he kills somebody like every.
That was the morals back in 1940. You were gonna have. You would create such an uproar if you said the Russians built Lex Luthor's suit. Oh my God, the Russians are killing America. You would send such a panic. You had to have something you need all Americans. That's
I like those. That type of Batman stuff rather than the stuff they have now because it's always it's always got to be something that's the worst shit ever to happen.
That's what we want to see as people though.
Like how many people has Superman killed in a DC comic? He's killed a lot.
3?
No, it's got to be more like 10.
No.
He killed Doomsday and what are you talking about like the real the real Superman or alternate versions of Superman? Because there's alternate versions of all our characters who have killed. Batman has killed people, but there are alternate versions.
But he's not
of Batman.
supposed to kill.
I know, but there's been alternate versions of Batman.
How do you know which is the alternate one and which is the real?
They usually are pretty clear.
Yeah,
about
they're very.
And again,
clear.
that's what people want to see. I mean, that's why
is the
Marvel's
Killing Joke canon or is it not?
That you guys depends on who you ask.
Yeah,
that really depends on who you
some
ask.
people said they did kill him at the end. Some people said that just.
I mean, is the Killing Joke part of?
It really just depends. Some people will consider it.
How the hell are you supposed to know what is the main storyline for Batman and what isn't?
Well, DC, it's easy because they've recently just reset their comic books.
Again,
with the
how
New
many
52.
times do?
This is the first time they've done it in a long
Yeah.
time. Marvel, they don't reset it in Marvel. They just try to make it as clear as possible that something has happened, and we're now stemming from this. We may touch back on the events afterwards, but we're probably just going to focus on what's to come.
This is why it's really hard for me to get into comics these days. I go for Valiant and Bongo, and independent stuff. But with Marvel and DC, I don't want to go to DC because everything's dark and brooding and depressing. I don't want to get depressed by a comic book. And with Marvel, everything, looks right up my alley, but I know that it's so complicated, I'm probably not going to understand what's going on.
I mean, even Marvel's taken pretty dark turns. I mean, Captain America was sniped outside of a courthouse. And again, that's just what people want to see. I don't think they want that wholesome 60s character anymore. They want to see someone
realistic,
They want to see someone get broke to a point where they're going to get
But
broke.
that's alienating the kids that are fans of comics because comic fans are growing up. Everybody's turning into old people.
Well, with their comic, that's why each comic there's kind of age. There's an age listing on it.
And comics really aren't selling as well as they did back then.
No,
I think there's a much bigger market because of the iPad and because you can go on.
Yeah, but are they really selling that well?
Movies.
Yeah,
yes.
I would definitely
comics
say
are,
so.
Especially the one with Batman, the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are making. That one, I mean, every time the graphic novel comes out, it's the #1 top chart, book in general, book in the New York Times.
I mean, when Green Lantern did their Blackest Night and Brightest Day, that was in the news so many times as one of the most acclaimed comic, and it was one of the best ones that have ever come out in such a long time.
I vastly prefer movies to the comics,
and that's part of that's why there's gonna always be your movie people versus comic people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, personally, I always...
The movies will always be
comics,
good.
Yeah.
But they will never be the comics.
Oh, Marvel always has good movies.
Yeah, because
DC.
they have a formula. Because Marvel has a formula, and DC is just catching up to it. Because they're realizing right now with Batman v Superman, they're just
Superman
realizing
movies don't usually do that.
I think Man of Steel was great.
I loved Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. I mean, I thought it was really good. I mean, even if he killed Zod, I mean, of course there's going to be the main plot hole, like him destroying a whole building. But I'm hoping that leads into Batman v Superman, and Batman brings it up. Like, whoa, you're an idiot, and you're a danger to society because you didn't even think about the people you're
So
trying
Batman
to
vs
save.
Superman is the Zack Snyder Superman.
Yeah.
No, I mean they're in the comics, especially in the Dark Knight Returns, the one I've been hounding about. They fight in the very end, of that.
And almost every line you've ever gone to, Superman and Batman have always had that first encounter fight.
Yeah, I mean they're either friends or they're
Batman
Well, it
just
looks like
doesn't
I've
trust
seen
Superman.
some promotional images for Batman versus Superman. Superman has like red eyes,
Yeah.
like he's a bad guy, but he does have laser vision, so maybe.
No, he does have.
Yeah,
he
he's-
does see vision.
Yeah.
But it's making it look like he's a bad guy.
They
Like
just
he's-
don't understand each other because he holds himself valiant, kind of above the people, and Bruce Wayne doesn't really trust him because he
has these powers.
he has powers. He's unstoppable.
Yeah,
Who's to say that Superman's not going to go postal, and how can we stop him?
right. And Batman's dealt with psychopaths, and now this guy who has.
But that's how
powers-
they kind of impress each other because
Right.
Batman sees that Superman isn't willing to do that,
Yeah.
and Superman sees a man that
That-
really has no powers at all, but
But-
is greater than him in
Yes.
every aspect.
And that's why they're friends, because they see the good and the bad in each other, And but then there'll be times, I mean where they'll fly. I mean, it's not like this throughout the whole canon. I mean, it's just certain stories like the Dark Knight Returns, and then even in the anime series,
Yeah.
there's some stuff like that. Like the first time they meet, they don't like each other because he's a vigilante and this guy's a Boy Scout, and but then they get to know each other once they work and they become friends.
And the one thing that Marvel's going to run into is DC shows that are coming out.
Is
All of
Gotham any good at all?
Yeah, Gotham's going to be amazing.
Well, it hasn't come out yet. Is
Oh.
it?
It's coming, but
Yeah, but that's gonna be really good. Dude.
Flash is going to be great.
No, what do you mean no? What is this?
I'm not interested in it at all. I didn't even see. I didn't. The only movie from the Dark Knight trilogy I saw was the second one, because I don't want to see Batman's origin story ever again. And I did watch about like the first quarter of the Dark Knight Rises, and I couldn't take it. It was so stupid.
The Dark Knight Rises with Joker was probably one of the best
That's just the
Jokers
Dark
I've.
Knight.
I mean, you mean
Dark
the
Knight Rises was Bane.
You mean just the Dark Knight? Because the Dark Knight Rises has Bane.
They confuse
The
Whatever,
one with the
yeah,
Joker
I know.
was phenomenal.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
agrees. I mean, let's just agree upon that. The Dark Knight, good.
And in Batman
Good,
Begins,
good,
I
good.
like that he went to the League of Shadows.
Me too.
Because
It makes
and
sense.
anyway, if
It
you
makes
don't do it, you
sense.
don't tell people. It's like, oh, spoiled rich guy must have just hired Taekwondo instructors to come over. Where did he learn this? I mean, you don't
He
just
to the mountain. He learned in the mountain.
you don't
He-
just
he-
hire
he-
people.
He didn't go to the YMCA, guys.
Yeah, no.
And became a So I mean,
And they covered that in the first of
Yeah.
the trilogy.
Ra's al
yeah.
Ghul
Ra's al Ghul
essentially trained him.
Yeah.
I do like the Scarecrow, and I do want to see the Scarecrow in it.
That was good. I mean, that was a good concept for him.
Yes.
But I
And
see
the
what
first time I've ever
happens to
seen
him.
it too. I mean, it was outside the
And again, that was real
normal-
to the comics because in the
Yeah.
new line, Ra's al Ghul wants Batman to become the leader of the League of Shadows.
He wants to become his
His
And
successor.
he like burns their house down. Right.
Well,
He
no.
disbands it.
Well, I mean, he does, and Ra's al Ghul does attack him
Yeah.
multiple times in the comic.
But he's testing him. He's kind of like he's.
Yeah.
I'm talking
trying
about
to
the
be-
movie, though.
The movie.
When the movie Ra's al Ghul does burn down his house, yes.
Technically.
Yes, he does. Yes, in the movie he does, but
He has the Batcave and.
yeah.
No, I mean, wait. Ra's al Ghul burns down the Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Bruce Wayne went and destroyed and fucked up their house over in the mountains.
He did. He did, yes.
Yeah.
And but then Ra's al Ghul, came back and he burned down his house.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. Neil.
And he was
No,
good as Ra's
yeah.
al Ghul.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen, right? Or
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie.
I loved him in Top Gun, and he
Yes.
was just even better in
Yes,
The
sorry.
Batman Begins.
Sorry.
I don't know how he played him because he died, but hey, that was a miracle.
I mean,
Liam Nielsen,
Liam
however,
Nielsen, yeah.
what a bastard!
Yeah, Liam Nielsen.
Thinks he's so cool from Taken.
I mean, he says in Batman Begins, "You left me for dead and burned down my house," considers us to be even when he does that. So.
And the weird part was, technically, I guess they killed Ra's al Ghul, but not.
But he's like an idea.
Yeah, we really don't know.
He's well, it makes sense because he trained Batman, right? He trained him with this ideal, and you have to be an idea, and that's what Ra's al Ghul is. Ra's al Ghul is an idea. So when this guy died, and someone else, he became Ra's al Ghul, and that's what Batman has been trained for. He trained himself. He made Batman to be an idea, and that's reintroduced in the third, trilogy. The Dark Knight Return, the Dark Knight Rises, when he's explained to, Robin or whoever you want to call him, that Batman is meant to be an idea. He even says it, in the Dark Knight too.
He says it in like every movie.
Yeah.
But Arkham Knight has the ability.
It could be really good because because first of all you get to drive the Batmobile and it looks all high tech, so it's like it's almost like leading towards Batman Beyond. It's almost like leading towards.
Well, it is implied that Batman gets shot in the face, and there's a new guy.
Where?
In one of the trailers for Arkham Knight, yeah. That guy in the robot suit, shoots Batman. He gets him on the ground, he's got a foot on his chest, and he's got, a wrist gun, and he's got it in his face, and then there's a gunshot, he shoots Batman.
Yeah, but if it goes black, that's something...
Well, I'd rather play as the
Well, I gotta see the trailer.
Batman.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. I haven't seen that.
Like I said, I need more gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing
It's gonna be
people
the
show
same
me
as
cinematics.
If it's Batman, if you're playing as Batman again and not Robot Suit Man, it's just gonna be the same as Arkham City, Arkham Origins,
I think they got better at every game. They've redefined definitely the way. I mean, Arkham Origins to Arkham Asylum, two.
Yeah.
Very separate.
Yeah, I guess but very similar. You have
some games like Arkham Asylum. You could, if you want to ground and pound the whole game, you can do it. I mean, certain missions obviously you have to sneak, but for most of the game, if you want to just, here's my fist, meet your face.
Yeah.
You could do that, but in Arkham Origins, there's a big emphasis on stealth.
Yeah. Anyway, so from Batman, we're going to do some comic reviews, and Denzel Washington.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've been reading this one called Lumberjanes. It's very good. I don't really know what to say about it. Really.
I've never heard of this comic.
Yeah, and I lent it to you for a very long time.
Yes.
You didn't read it.
It's pretty ridiculous.
You did lend me the Oz one.
Yes.
And I haven't read any of that.
I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up on my own and read it. So.
No, this really stood out. The first time I ever decided to go into a comic book store, I went in there and started looking at new releases and stuff, and I saw Lumberjanes 1. Did
you pick it up because it looked a lot like an animation?
That I liked the art style, and also I had gone around the store the first time, and it was like a bunch of just angry dudes all over everything, except for Wonder Woman, Angry Woman, but everything else was just dudes.
Okay.
And it was boring, and then I see this cover.
You like it. So explain to us. So what is Lumberjane?
It's like a summer camp. It's pretty much like a Gravity Falls almost situation. Where a bunch of girls go to a summer camp and there's weird happenings with three-eyed animals and medallions and shit.
Okay.
And it's more of a comedy type comic,
Okay, right on. So
gotta love your independence.
Yeah.
Because I love the Grimm fairy tales.
Well, Boombox does Cartoon Network stuff too.
Yeah, I've seen.
Samurai Jack is now being continued in comics.
I just bought The Last Airbender book 1.
That looks good.
The continuation.
Yeah, Xenoscope's Grimm fairy tales are by far my favorite.
And then also I bought Oz, the Wicked West.
Star Wars also has a huge comic book.
They do. They tell good stories too. They tell really good stories. I have a couple. I have the whole Clone Wars. In my opinion, it's a lot better than the show because it's more gritty and violent
and you just love your violence, don't you?
I
all that violence in Marvel.
Yeah, so much. Hey, Deadpool was pretty violent guy. So
and
I don't.
Captain America too.
The Denzel doesn't like Deadpool.
The test footage though was.
Yeah.
I'm just
my
pissed.
God, this guy.
Sick of him. He's in everything. He's always.
I just can't believe Fox pulled it down already. It's copyrighted across the board.
No, they released it.
They did, and I haven't seen that they've officially released it yet.
Yeah, they got rid of the leak stuff and put out the real stuff.
Which is really retarded because they leaked it in the first place.
Yeah.
There's no way that some little Asian dude snuck it off a Fox executive's computer and USB hacked it into the YouTube. They released it so they could pull it off, and then oh yeah. So I can't wait for that one.
Yeah. And
comic books,
he's pretty fun. I mean, he always breaks the third wall.
That's always fun. I think it's the fourth wall.
They overdo it.
I need it in my life.
Oh, tell us about The Stand.
It's just a comic book series based off of the Stephen King novel.
I mean, you've read.
It's a lot more of a faithful adaptation to it than the movie was with Gary Sinise.
So then so is it pretty much like the book then, but in a graphic format?
Yeah, if you don't want to read a giant Lord of the Rings novel,
then don't read it.
Then just pick up the comic. It's a 5 graphic novel series.
The hardest part about that one is that each one, most of them are connected, but I want to say there's like 1 or 2 that don't necessarily.
You're talking about the sub stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love
The Stand. The Stand is like my favorite book.
Captain Trips is probably the best one. I love the whole. It's almost
like
Walking Dead,
zany,
but it's not quite like Walking Dead. It gets weird
because
when
there's
they're
no
all
zombies. It's all just dead bodies.
And it's weird when they're all like walking onto a cornfield and there's a psychic that brings them all together. That's when it gets weird when they're trying to bring all the subplots into one.
I like how everything comes together. I also like the one shots. I'm getting a vibration.
I heard that they want to do a lot more Stephen King's in the graphic novels.
Yeah, like Gunslingers.
Yeah, I heard of Cujo, which
come on,
it's not as bad.
It's not, but I feel like you could really make him look more rabid, and you could really make.
Yeah, but it's like just shoot the dog. Like, I mean,
they can't.
You don't understand.
Have you read Cujo?
No.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a mom and her kid
who has asthma. I mean, he's dying
for like a week by this rabid dog,
and he's not like a freaking Nemo that you have a little Pomeranian 2 pounds.
It's like a Tibetan Mastiff, which is up to here. It's like a lion dog. They're being chased by a lion.
And not like that, but he has rabies. I mean, he wants to kill them. There's not like, oh, you just throw me a stick and I'm gonna look at that first. I'm going for you.
I don't know.
But that's real fear. That I'm not afraid that, again, some 60-year-old man with lung cancer is gonna trap me in a box and put me in a puzzle game that I gotta cut my finger off to escape from. A dog going on rabies to bite me, that can happen. That's very real.
I think what could be turned into a graphic novel would be The Mist.
Yeah. I mean, the movie.
I love the movie.
I liked it until the end.
No, I love the ending. Even Stephen King likes the ending.
I hated the ending.
No, I love the ending.
I think I could have forgiven them if they said this is part of a sequel, and now in the sequel we're gonna.
Why would there be a sequel? It's based off of his short story, and it's way better than his short story.
I just want to know why the government was testing.
I mean, for me it was stupid. Like,
did you like Half-Life?
Yeah.
Say that Half-Life was inspired by The Mist. So you're asking the same question to.
Still, the only best part of that movie was when the old lady got shot.
Yes.
I've never been so happy.
Yes, that was the bomb.
No, the movie adaptation was far better than the story, I think. Because in the story, there's like this sex scene that's totally pointless between David Drayton and the blonde lady.
Yeah.
But in the movie, Frank Darabont replaces that scene with the soldier guy that gets stabbed and sacrificed, and that lady that gets stung.
The only other bad adaptation that's going to be coming is The Crow.
The Crow?
The remake.
I didn't even like the first one.
The first one was that's a masterpiece. I would not want to act in that movie knowing that Brandon Lee got shot in the first one, Trini died after the second one in a car accident. Someone dies in these movies.
Those movies are cursed.
Because Luke Evans from Dracula is supposed to be Eric Draven.
Yeah. Maybe, who knows? I mean, that movie will not take off. Anyway, so...
Anything else?
Any other comics over review? I mean, just, the finishing of Zero Year, that was really great. I highly recommend, pick up the graphic novel. Currently I'm reading Archie Afterlife. I'll have a review for you for our next podcast. And that's about it.
All right, everyone. That is it for another episode of the Windy City Comic Blog. Good night, good fight, and
Excelsior.